Yeah, somewhat. You know, we all kind of look
Like
the same.
stereotypical like Kyle features, like just Kylie and just Kyle coming out of your holes and everything, homie.
Oh shit. Yeah, he should be here in just a minute. I don't know.
Hey, text him and tell him he's got 14 seconds, and if he doesn't make it, it's all his fault, and I'm gonna go take a dump.
Yeah, shit. We can just go ahead and start. He said 5 minutes, so he's missing out right now. So all right. Well, welcome to the Only Kyle Show, Skweezy. We are very excited to have you.
Not excited enough to have both of your co-hosts, but
Well, hey, to be
partially excited. I get
to
it.
to be fair, he's been on a break from the show. But I knew that he was really excited
Like
when you said you would
Discord
come on.
detention.
No, no, he needed to take a personal break, personal reasons, like he just from a lot of just social media shit in general. He's
I get it, homie.
just been playing games and shit since. So yeah, man. So I didn't know who you were.
Really
And then
starting. This is really starting great. Like, A, half of you isn't here, and B, you have no idea who the fuck I am.
no, no, no,
Like,
no.
this first 30 seconds is really launching off like a fucking rocket, homie.
Oh, but one of the Kyles from the council, he named Kyle Williams. He was like, "Yo, we got to get my boy Skweezy to 420,000 followers." And so I was like, "All right, bet." So we went in and we fucking pushed the Kyles and all of our friends and shit
Hell
to
yeah.
get you to 420 because 419 is just fuck 419. You gotta be 420.
Hell yeah.
and uh and so I didn't want to learn a lot about you until you came on because I like when there's somebody that I don't know. I like to learn about them from talking to them. So
I'll get you, homie. That's a good philosophy. I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty surface level. Like, there's not. I mean, I'm basically like an algae, homie. There's not a whole lot going on.
An algae. What a hell of a way to put it.
oh, and
Oh, is this
this is
the other
dog.
Kyle?
Yes, this is the other Kyle
Hey, buddy, how's
host.
it going?
How many Kyles are there? Like, how many Kyles are in your group, and then like, how many Kyles are there like worldwide that you're still trying to like get into the glob?
So the max we had was close to 8,000 in our
Damn.
group. And there are far more. there, I think there's like a few 100,000 across the world.
So you said the max, but like, so there's less now. Like, what happened? Was there like a Kyle controversy or some shit?
Yeah, that I mean that's one of the many reasons. But Facebook doesn't like man, I don't know. Facebook has labeled us a dangerous group of individuals because Area 51. We had members that were like part of the Boogaloo movement and stuff, and that flagged us. They, like one of those members actually got told, the FBI told Facebook he's not allowed to have a Facebook. So like things like
This is
that.
this is really great. Number one, half the Kyles didn't show up. Number two, you didn't know who I was, and number three, like you're telling me that like, oh, we can't be on Facebook anymore because we're a hate
No,
group.
no, 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 not us. No, 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 no. We're not. We are not a hate group. At
I
all.
mean, I guess that's like to be fair, like if the only qualification for being in the group is your name, that covers a lot of territory, homie. Like you
Yes.
got to think like, okay, so if there's 8,000 Kyles, there's at least like 10 murderers in there, like just out there murdering non-Kyles. Um, just like tax evaders, car thieves. Like, I mean, you can't all just because your name is Kyle, that doesn't make you a good person. Like, but I get it, dog. Like, I have like 5 million. I got 4 million followers on TikTok, and I was just like, I couldn't sleep the other night because like I got 4 million followers on TikTok and like a half a million on Facebook, and a half a million on Instagram, and I was like, man, like how many serial killers follow me? Like somebody, there's a chance that somebody literally just watched a Skweezy video and then just grabbed an axe and started butchering somebody. I was like, God damn, homie, like how am I fucking supposed to sleep about that shit? Like, But
that's not something I've ever thought of, honestly. Like, that's a hell of a way to look at it.
yeah, well, don't think about it too much because I guarantee you, with 8,000 Kyles in the Kyle group, at least one of them is like literally like got body parts like underneath his fucking kitchen sink or some shit.
Oh, I could probably think of a few.
I was gonna say
Who
there's a
that would be a
couple that might come to
possibility.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Like, I mean, it's some weird shit, homie. Like, you got any lady Kyles? I've met women named Kyle. Do you have lady
Yeah,
Kyles?
we
in the
actually
Kyle
do.
group?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we've had two of them on here now. So we have our close friend Kyle Grimes Ward. She was a mental health specialist. We have a subgroup that is focused on mental health and recovery and
Yeah.
things of that nature. She helped us rebuild that. And then Kyle Pinkerton was one of the original first few admins of the group back in 2017, 18. And
You tell me, like, out of all the Kyles, there's like 4 lady Kyles.
yes. So then there's there's Lanham, and then there's the used to be racist old white lady Kyle, who has chilled out, and we kind of changed her perception of racial reality. So
Yeah.
and that's the thing about our group. Like, we always kind of been extreme, like within, against each other, no matter what the ideology was. But like, we kind of over the years have changed each other quite a bit. Like, we've grown up. We're not these edgy little teenagers and shit, and come to the realization that, being responsible adults is kind of where we have to go in life. And the ones that
Yeah.
don't think that way, are kind of going to the wayside or in their own fringe groups and shit like that.
I like that, homie. I mean, that's basically what it's. I mean, because people look at me and they're like, "Oh, this is just like some racist tweaker from Florida," and so that's like kind of shitty that like people look at me and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna steal my catalytic converter and call me the N word," and I'm like, "What? Like, come on, dog!" Like, but that gives me like kind of an in. So sometimes those people like those kinds of people like start following me like, "Oh, he's like me," and then it's like I can kind of open their eyes about like, yeah, so like racism sucks,
I
sexism
agree.
sucks.
I
Like, you
agree.
could be a better person, homie. And yeah, and so the ones that are like that are down for that, like I can take them along for this ride and help them like discover things about life that maybe they don't get in the normal circumstances. Then the ones that like fuck that, I still want to be racist. They end up leaving the page or whatever,
Yeah.
and go their own way. So I get it. It makes sense. What you're talking about. Like, let me ask you this though. So like you're the good Kyles. You like pro mental health, like pro equality and equity and all this kind of shit. Is there like a bad group of Kyles that's like, these are like the like they're still Kyles, but it's
I'm
like, two sides of the force. You got like the Jedis and the Siths, homie.
I'm
And
glad
like,
you asked. I'm glad you
Yeah.
asked.
There are a couple that are, I don't know if there's per se like a dedicated group where they've just kind of congregated, but there's definitely a list of people that have kind of been ostracized and just kind of kicked out for
and
just extremist stuff.
Well,
recently they have bound
yeah.
together, and it has been this hellish battle of of names of groups, and like oh, we're the true Kyles and blah blah blah, all this crazy shit. And it's just they
It's so weird.
yeah.
Like, that's like our entire fucking country and like even the globe now is like everyone's like, it's like, oh, you got to pick sides. Like, everyone's getting so, polarized and
Divided.
shit. But I'm still gonna be straight up honest with you. Having like good Kyles and bad Kyles, and that's like a real thing in society. That's fucking weird, dog. It's
Like,
like
it's a
a
weird
pack.
concept just thinking there's just thousands of us just in
Yeah,
the shadows, just like together, just like
you got like
congregating and
you
just
got like the
sharing
good
ideas.
Kyles, like, oh, let's support each other, let's work on our mental health, let's like treat everyone fairly and kindly. And then you got these other Kyles that are like, let's get together and rob a Walgreens.
Honestly, I
Fucking weird
wouldn't even
shit,
put it
dog.
past a couple of them. Like you were saying, like
And the
especially
murder.
with yeah, like the
Yeah, like I
murder
said, the
causes too.
murder and shit. Like, you might get like, this might be some weird fucking, again, like the fucking Sith in Star Wars, and they all like go out there and they just start like doing weird Kyle crimes and shit, and then you are gonna get in fucking trouble because they're like, oh, you're a Kyle, you're obviously part of this. You're like, no, we're the good Kyles. They're like, huh, nice try, Kyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, we
so
kind
that's
of
why
already have that
we've
with the drywall.
yeah we've done our fair share of trying to prevent that from ever happening
Yeah.
by being so vocal in public about the
Well,
good
that's what
things. Like,
I get that shit too. It's like, hey, yeah, I look like a tweaker from Florida who's probably gonna steal your muffler, but nah, homie, like there's some good ones too. Like there's good people from Florida, barely, but we do exist. And I mean, I'm not there anymore. I wouldn't fucking live there if you paid me $1 million.
I'm
But
moving there, Skweezy.
oh fuck, dog, why?
My parents have my kids, and they moved there to build a house, and my dad started a business down there, but I gotta be with my
What
kids.
part?
Fort Myers.
Oh fuck, dog. Oh fuck. Good luck, homie.
Hey, I
You
got
know where Lehigh
offered.
Acres is?
Yes, that's.
Yeah, so I spent like 15 years there and 10 years in Cape Coral, homie.
I'm looking at living in Lehigh Acres.
Well, you're about to, I mean, good luck because you were a good Kyle and now you're going to just slip into like, I mean, not to say you're going to be a bad Kyle, but like, good luck.
Well, okay, I will say that I feel like the majority of the and like this kind of sounds messed up, but like the majority of like the shitty people in that area, their houses got destroyed, and the government was just like, we're gonna help
Hey,
you relocate.
homie, I'm not even talking about the people. Fuck, I mean, I'm talking about just the fucking state. Like, I'm not getting into politics. I'm not getting into beliefs. I mean, like one of the only good things about it was like, oh, you could go chill on the beach and like, fucking smoke a joint and just hang out. Now it's like full of red tide and rotten seaweed all the time and shit. And like,
It really is.
oh my god, dog. Like I've never had. So I sweat a lot. I have
So do I.
never had sweaty experiences like I've had in Fort Myers and Cape Coral, Florida. And dog, I've fucking been to like the jungles of India, and I still haven't sweat like I sweat there. Like you will get and your nutsack will turn into a fucking ecosystem, homie. You will have snails crawling around your fucking taint because and growing moss and shit. Like it's just that you just get used to it, homie. And the chafing, oh my god, homie, the fucking my thighs, dog, like were like 70 grit sandpaper by the time I fucking left Florida, just all fucking rubbed out and just nasty and just sharp. And let me tell you something, homie. You think it's easy to have sex with a lady and have her like get down and get nasty between your legs when your thighs are all fucking sharp like sandpaper? It's not. Nobody fucking likes that. But if she loves you, she's still gonna do it, but she's gonna have a frown on her face,
It's
homie.
true love, dog. True love. Going down on fucking.
Fucking wisdom right here.
I'm just fucking telling you, homie. But yeah, anyway, one thing I did like about, but that's another, and I like a lot of the shit that people hate about Florida. I fucking love like the alligators and the iguanas and all that shit. Everyone's like, I'm gonna get eaten by an alligator. Like, show me them shits, homie. It's like fucking living amongst dinosaurs. I love that. And the snakes, I fucking love snakes. But if you don't like that shit, homie, good fucking luck.
Yeah, I love snakes and alligator. Like
There you go.
nature just
That's a plus.
yeah. Nature's always fascinated me. So tell us a little bit. All right, so when I hit you up, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be back. I'm in the middle of the fucking jungle. I was like, wait, hold the.
Yeah.
I was like, hold up. I was like, what made you go to? You went to Colombia, right?
Yeah, so I was in Colombia, so I was just like, fuck, where can I go like that is relatively cheap and kind of close, but still like crazy. And I've been to Mexico a lot lately. But I was like, shit, I've never been to South America. So yeah, I was just like, fuck it, I'll go. And to be straight up honest with you, like I started telling people I was gonna go, and everyone started sending me like articles and links and like, oh, it's crazy down there. You'll get robbed, you'll get stabbed. And honestly, homie, I was only in two riots. I only got pickpocketed twice, but yeah, that was it, dog. Like, but it's fucking cool. Like, I went all over the place. Like, everyone's really nice down there. Everyone's really lovely. Even the second time someone tried to pickpocket me, I felt like he was trying to distract me by trying to sell me gum. And they have like these trays that they open up and they're full of gum, but they're also like trying to sell you drugs. And he's like, "Hey, you want some gum?" or drugs? And I was like, nah, homie. And he had the tray up in front of me, in front of my eyes. And instinctively, I put my hand down on my pocket and I felt his fingers in my pocket. And we played like finger footsie for like 8 seconds. And I was like, nah, homie, you ain't getting me. And we both had a laugh about it.
What the fuck?
But it's like, nothing personal. He's just trying to fucking steal my money. And because it's like, it's hard to fucking make money sometimes. I get it. I wouldn't do it. Like, but some people, that's the fucking path they choose to take, and it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna let you fucking do it, but
Yeah.
like,
I
again, we can share a laugh about it if you're cool about it.
yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but it's not happening. Like,
Yeah, exactly,
like,
exactly. And
yeah.
I definitely like. Here's the thing: I definitely have. There's some privileges that I have where I can be less uh fucked up by that kind of shit. Like, and privileges including the fact that I'm giant. I'm not gonna tell you how big I am because I don't need people like knowing exactly how tall I am, but I'm taller than like most people. I'm bigger than most people. I'm like well over 200 pounds. Like, I work out and shit. And so, like, especially when I go to countries like this, like, I'm a fucking giant. And so, it's like if I was like you know, a smaller person or somebody that felt more vulnerable, that wouldn't be able to just like wink about it and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, it'd be a whole different story. But the fact that, like, I could probably break this dude's face in half, uh, not that I want to, but
Yeah.
like,
But you
that
could.
makes yeah, it makes it a little bit easier for me, homie. So that's definitely a privilege that I don't take for granted. Like India, like it's kind of, although it's kind of crazy. Like I met a lot of older women single travelers in India. And I'm talking like older, like 60s, 70s, just kind of out on their journeys and shit, all for different reasons. And the fucking balls that they have. I mean, because like India is awesome and great, but there is definitely a repression there, and there's certain dudes that are wandering around that just like, I mean, I was with this traveling with this girl for a minute, and she's being real respectful of the cultures and shit, and covering up and everything. And the only skin that was showing was like this much ankle, and I looked down, and this dude was fucking taking pictures of her ankles, homie. Like, there's some
Like,
some weird shit goes on, and it's like there's definitely a line that you kind of have to figure out of like, all right, what's being respectful of a culture and what's like, hey, don't fucking do that shit. Like, and a lot of times, like groups of young Indian men would follow us around, like, and I'm talking groups anywhere from like 3 to like 25, and they would just follow and stare, and every single time I would turn around and be like, yo, what's up, homie? 99% of the time they would just start smiling and like being like, oh, I'll be real excited, real happy, real friendly, non-threatening. But one time, dog, just walking through this fucking town, and I was like, what's up, homies? And they all just fucking gave me the fucking evil eye. I was like, we got to fucking go. So it's like you definitely have to have this awareness about you
Yeah.
and that kind of shit. But anyway, yeah, back to Colombia. Colombia's fucking sick, dog. Like, I went as many places as I could. I went to the jungle. I went to the cities. I went to Carnival, which it's the second biggest carnival in the world behind Rio, and much more local and much more chill. Like, I was talking to people that had been to the carnival in Rio, and I guess it's just super touristy now. It costs a
Yeah.
fortune. It's all about like VIP passes and that kind of shit. Not the fucking Barranquilla, Colombia carnival, homie. It is just fucking street parties and craziness and noise. That's where the first riot was that I got stuck in. Where I was just like, I don't know if you saw that video, but it's got
Yeah,
like
yeah.
10 to
With your
20.
height, that had to have been like an awesome vantage point for all these short people in this riot, and you're just like, well, I can fucking
Yeah,
see the whole
and I
thing.
guess like the good news was like I was just kind of like right near the entrance, and so this was like I guess like a huge block party that was happening. Um, because it's just endless block parties. And again, almost all of them are like super chill, like people of all ages, all genders, all race, everything just hanging out together, listening to music, drinking, having fun. But yeah, I don't even know what the fuck happened with this. Like, walked in, so the block was sectioned off with like just a chain link fence, like just right in the middle of the street. So nothing crazy, it's probably like 8 feet high or something. You can see in the video like people climbing over it at one point. But I walk in, there's like no like security or anything like that. I just walk in, and all of a sudden, like everybody just started running directly at me as soon as I walked in. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where y'all going? I didn't like hear anything crazy, like shots or anything, explosions, anything like that. I did see bottles getting thrown and people like just running, but yeah, I don't even know what the fuck happened. Like the next night, like I met up with some people and they had some locals with them that spoke a little bit of English. I showed them the video. I was like, "What was this?" And the one girl just like shrugged and she was like, "Nah, Colombia." I was like, "Oh, all right," but
It's just so common. It's Colombia. We have riots on the
Just
yeah,
regular.
par for the course. Holy
and
shit.
I have like a guess. Like so one of the places that I went was which was fucking sick was it's called Comuna 13 in Medellin, and it's one of the slums up on the hills. And up until I think it was like 2008, it was the most dangerous neighborhood in the world.
Wait, did you
They
just say you went
had
to Medellin?
Medellin, yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah, yeah,
insane.
like the heart of the Medellin cartel. Like you just.
Yeah. Oh, homie, Medellin is sick. It is not like that anymore. So this one neighborhood that I was at is so it's like, still really poor, but and again, it was the most dangerous neighborhood in the world till like 2008. It was like constant wars and battles between like the guerrillas and the cartels and the paramilitary, just literally pulling tanks in there and troops and just shooting things up, and all these poor people in the middle were just caught in the crossfire the whole time. But what happened was, that shit started to get like they're like, we gotta change this shit because our country is dying. And there were some changes that were made that entire community of like hundreds of thousands of people, just as one section of it, they kind of turned into almost like a tourist attraction
Mhm.
where they opened it up for like street artists to come and do these awesome murals. They installed outdoor escalators because it's all up on the hill, and I mean it was like narrow alleys and secret alleys and shit and places that all these bad people could hide, and they put in these like public outdoor escalators. They turned it into a tourism thing. They started doing these tours, like street graffiti tours. And then they, crazily enough, they started really using hip hop as a way to get the kids that were growing up there out of drugs and drug, selling and that kind of shit, and instead get them into like breakdancing and rap and graffiti, which is like not only is it legal there, but it's like like they're like do it, yeah, take this fucking beat up shack and like put some cool art on there,
Oh
and
yeah.
it is fucking sick, homie. Like I spent a couple days up there, and it is incredible. So it went from being one of the most dangerous, worst neighborhoods in the world to being like a place that's like mostly safe, relatively safe. Like there was like a 12-year-old selling coke behind me, but he didn't try to stab me or anything.
I mean, as long as
Um,
he wasn't doing it. I mean, it's not.
and
It's
he
not,
was, yeah, he was
Yeah.
doing it too.
Oh shit!
Although
Fuck.
here's a crazy thing, like so, and that's the other thing about blow down there, homies, is like I thought I was gonna see it everywhere. In the first 3 weeks of my trip, I didn't see it anywhere. I was like, this kind of crazy. Like that's kind of what Colombia is known for, right? And I didn't fucking see it anywhere. And I started going on like the bet. My favorite thing to do when I go to a new place is the first day is I do. All places have this now. They have a free walking tour, and you basically like any medium-sized city or bigger around the world, they have a free walking tour, and they always have them in English, and you learn so much about like where you set foot in, and also like you're with like a super knowledgeable local, so they could tell you like all the secret like places to get really good food and places to go that aren't touristy. And so I try to do that in every place that I go, and that's one of the things that I did in Medellin, and how I also like found out about this Comuna 13 community that's been revitalized. But at the same time, it's like you really get kind of a feel for the people there, and you get an understanding of like rhythm and the vibe. And so I was asking this dude about this shit, the whole the cocaine shit, and I was just learning so much. Like, I mean, it destroyed their fucking country, dog. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, Colombia, cocaine, cocaine," and it's like, yeah, that's like 2% of people there are involved in that shit. If that, other 98% are just getting fucking destroyed by it. Like these
Yeah.
poor people that were living in Comuna 13, you know? So it's like there there's a huge amount of people there that and they're like people come here to fucking party and there's places where you can come here to party, but it's really disrespectful to the locals and it's really like, like there's people that have lost family members and homes and everything because of this shit. And so you start learning about that shit. And again, I didn't like even see anything. And I was like going to parties, like beach parties and after hour shits, and I didn't see anybody like, yeah, it would be the same like here where like a couple people would sneak off to the bathroom. But like I've been to places in Mexico, homie, like parties in Mexico where they just dump out a pile of blow on the fucking table and everyone just
Yeah.
starts going at it. Like in the middle of the fucking club. And I didn't see any of that shit going on until I got to Cartagena and then also Medellin. And there it was a whole different story. Like people, I mean, you walk around as a tall fucking white guy in those places. Like I was offered drugs 3 times a minute, all day, every day in Cartagena and Medellin in the main party zones and bar zones and that kind of shit. There's
Yeah.
plenty of parts of the cities where that it's local and chill and that kind of thing. But like in the party areas, it was nonstop. Like the staff at one club was just doing blow on the bathroom sink when I was in there trying to piss. And also, like everyone thinks that I'm a drug dealer for multiple reasons.
I mean, you're
Like
from Florida, so
yeah, but like everyone's just I don't know. I'll walk around people like that guy knows where the fucking drugs are. I don't, homie. Like I don't know. Like people would come up to me in Medellin and be like, "Hey, where can I get some fucking blow?" I'm like, "Why do you talk to the fucking dude selling drugs next to you? Why are you talking to me, homie?" I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Like and everybody always also fucking thinks that I fucking know. I can't say that. I'm pretty open about shit, but I can't fucking finish that sentence. Anyway, yeah, so like it was everywhere in Medellin. But I was like learning so much, like, and a lot of the locals there, like that. So there are like drug people are gonna do drugs. They want to fucking do drugs. So even though there's a bunch of locals that are like they hate that shit, they would never do it. There are like young kids and partiers, especially the fucking rich kids that don't think that they have anything to lose and they're in the drug scene, but they're so fucking done with blow over there it's like insanely cheap. I mean, again, I saw these little 12, 13-year-olds doing it. I got to assume a lot of them, that don't know any better at that age are fucking doing it. But a lot of them were so burned out. They got this new fucking drug down there and they call it Tusi. And it looks like a baggie of blow, but it's dyed pink. And I was like, what the fuck is in that shit? Because I got offered that a lot too. And it's like 3, 4 times as much as cocaine. And so this is like the real rich kid shit. And I saw like a couple of people like on this shit and it fucking zonked out. Like eyes are, they're like, and I was like,
two.
I was like, talk, what's that?
I said 2C, like
Tusi.
two C T2, like
I don't know, like that. So from what I understand, the name comes from an actual chemical drug that came out a long time ago, but it's like it's not like that anymore. And this shit basically whatever neighborhood you're in, they make it a completely different way in every
yeah,
single neighborhood. So
it's what it's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
2C is a whole class of drugs, but they're
yeah,
psychedelics that have similar effects to MDMA as well.
yeah. Let me
They're
tell you how
research
they.
chems.
Yeah, let me tell you how they fucking do it down there. So to basically be sold as 2C in the clubs in fucking Colombia, it it has to include LSD, MDMA, fentanyl, uh, something else, and sometimes cocaine, all mixed together. And these fucking, I mean, I would leave like, leave the club at like 2 a.m., go to sleep, wake up at 10 a.m. One of the places I was staying was directly next to one of these big clubs in Medellin, and people be like coming out at like 11 a.m. when I was like going to get some tacos and shit. And they're just fucking still going crazy. Their eyes are like rolled up in their head, but they still have like tons of energy. I was like, God damn, like that's some fucked up crazy shit, homie. But anyway, they also got toucans down there in fucking Colombia. Uh which I fucking love. I saw one toucan the whole time, but that was enough, homie, if you know what I mean. Um
What was that?
Yeah, and
What was that video with you? Where you were eating something and shit, fucking was it Cass that came up like or was it what was it?
oh yeah, I was eating a fried fish. And yeah, and there was literally like by the time I like took my first bite, like 9 or 10 just stray cats around me and just all begging for bites and shit. So,
You got
you
those
know,
shots perfectly too. Like I was just like I was like damn. I was like man, he either set that up or he got those shots like just perfect.
they were I mean, they were I mean, yeah, I took a couple takes because they kept fucking scrambling around and shit, like just, running all over the place. But, yeah, it's fucking cats. I tried to give them as much of my fish as I could. And then they got thirsty, so I had I had to dump out my sauce bowl and fill it with water and give them water too. But you know, yeah, it was awesome, homie. Like it's definitely there's a optimism there and a happiness there because they went through so much shit for so long, and there's things are so much better now and looking better. And so you can feel it, like you could feel like people that have been in this. I had the same experience when I was in Myanmar in Burma, and unfortunately, like that shit all got fucked up again and the military took over a couple years ago. But I
Mm.
went there about 5 years ago and you could just feel like this like fuck we've been fucked with for so long and finally shit's happening and the economy is growing and the danger is way down and it really broke my heart when all that shit crashed again in the military like threw the prime minister in prison and just rolled tanks through the streets and fucking took that shit over again. I was like, God damn it. Like they were so fucking close, homie, and now they're worse than they were before. And I mean, you just see a lot when you go to places like this that like it's just I mean, makes you think about shit and fucking experiences and it's just fucking wild, homie.
See, like one of the things you said when you got on, you were like, "Man, I'm really like surface level shit, dude." You talking through this whole show shows me like you're not really like surface level shit. Like I don't know, like you don't play this role as you're sitting here talking about this stuff. Like when you're more in depth about it, I really like you. All right, I just gotta
Well,
say.
I appreciate that, homie. Like, I mean, wink wink, dog. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's definitely like I think it was Mark Twain or some shit that was just like the cure for racism is travel or something along those lines. And it's not just racism. It's like fear and anger and hatred. It's a cure for all of those things, dog. Like it is. I try to like get out and go. And people are like, why are you going to these places? It's like, first of all, I can't fucking afford to go to Europe. Um, first of all, but second of all, like I don't know, you got to go to the places where like the and I mean I got this adventure thing in me, dog. Like it's just in me, and I like to see what's. I'm always trying to see what's around the next corner. Like everyone's like, oh, let's stop here. I'm like, I got to fucking see what's around the next corner, homie, the next bend, and definitely like going places. Now I'm not trying to go to war zones and shit. Like I don't have a death wish. But like I'm definitely trying to like see what is around that next corner. And Colombia definitely fulfilled that for me. And like the thing is, like I know what dangerous is. Colombia is not dangerous. Like you could possibly get pickpocketed, but like if you're traveling anywhere, you should be wearing a money belt anyway, homie. And you got to know what's going on. Like you fucking walk around like with $1,000 iPhone. Like I think the average monthly salary for Colombians is 300 bucks, and 99% of them lovely, beautiful people, but 1% of them, it's the same here, homie. You start flashing shit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to victim blame, but something you do need to understand is that there is victim blaming mentality in some of these places where you get your shit jacked. It's your fault. Like, you should know better. That's not me saying that. That's the fucking rules of the land.
Yeah,
And
no, I
so,
mean,
like,
I mean that's the truth though. Like, I mean, you go to you go to Southeast DC and you're over there flashing money and shit. If you get robbed,
yeah,
I'm gonna blame you because
yeah.
you know better than to go to like the lowest income area in a dangerous
Or
city.
anywhere. You
Yeah,
should,
no,
like,
like
yeah,
just
don't fucking walk around
it's
like
like what the
counting
fuck.
$100 bills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just like and you don't take into consideration that like you said. that's like 3 months fucking salary of
Yeah,
one of these
dog.
people, and like that's like, hey, you're just walking around with a device that can feed their kids for 4 months. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
and also like a lot of this shit's happening, but with young people, 15, 16, 17 year olds, just doing snatching grabs with phones or wallets or whatever. Like they don't, they see this and like shit. Like I could fucking put food on the table for my family. Like that homie could just buy another phone, and so on and so forth. And so you gotta, you just gotta be fucking smart about that shit when you travel to these places. I always, I usually dress poor anyway because like I just like to be comfortable. So throw on some basketball shorts and a t-shirt. But
I'm
you
the
know,
same way.
yeah, it fucking helps. But like, yeah, wear a money belt. Put your, I had a burner phone in Colombia. I did use it probably half the time. Um, but my regular phone's got like a much better camera, so I could like zoom in and shit and film stuff at night. But there are definitely some times where I was just like, fuck, like, and that's the other thing. Like people, I'd be out with my camera filming, and so many locals were like, "Put your camera down, like, don't have that shit out." Like, just trying to help.
Yeah.
And they know what's up, and so like, it overall it was like an amazing experience. Like, I haven't been to a ton of places, but like almost every single place that I have been is in terms of like friendliness and kindness and just people looking out for me and just wanting to make sure I enjoy my time. Every single place has been amazing. There hasn't been like, so many people are so fucking nice around the world, and the vast majority of people want the same exact thing, whether they're here or in the middle of fucking Cambodia, homie, and they want enough shit to be able to put food to make sure their kids aren't going to bed hungry, that they're safe, that they can provide and do a good day's work and be able to have their kids do a bit better or a lot better than they're doing. That's like 98% of people out there. And of course, all we fucking focus on in the media is that 2% that's fucking shit up and you know but that's also in our fucking DNA is like, we pay attention to the shit that could cause danger. We pay
Yeah.
attention to shit that says like, oh, you better fucking like go the other direction. We're not designed to pay attention to and appreciate the shit that is actually nice and quiet and chill. So I feel like that's definitely a muscle that grows when you go to these other countries and you experience this shit and you're like, oh damn, like they just all these people out here, they just want to fucking and I come in respectfully and like and pay money in their stores and buy food in their restaurants and want to see like the real parts of their shits and appreciate the shit that they're proud of, beautiful temples or great local food spots. Anyway, I'm an old man preaching right now, but like I like because the thing is like I didn't even get a passport until I was like close to 40, homie. So like, I always wanted to do this shit, but like I never like it just like a lot of Americans, like, I didn't have the, like, A, we're a big country and a lot of these places are really fucking far away. B, we're taught to be afraid of all this shit. C, we don't get fucking jack for vacation if you have a regular job. So, and it's expensive, and so it's like to not be in that fucking trap of a system that we have is extraordinarily hard, dog. I don't fucking shame anybody for not being able to do some of the shit that I've done. Um, but at the same time, like I never tried to like, I've never tried to like fucking buy a Ferrari or any of this shit. Like all that
Yeah.
shit's worthless.
Yeah.
Like, that shit's worthless. And that's, and again, it's easy to fall into that trap, but like that shit the end of the day, I can get to the same place you can on a $7 Lime scooter, homie. Um, and um, you should have nice things if you want nice things, but if that's what's keeping you from like experiencing, you know, life, then that's probably something you need to think about a little bit.
Yeah. I like me, dude. I've been on probation my whole adult life. Like I just got off, and like I got to focus
So
on
you're
having a
one of the
house and stuff.
murderers. You're one of the Kyle
Nah,
murderers.
no, 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 no. I just had a problem with doing drugs for a
I
long
feel
time.
you, homie.
And but like I haven't leaving the country hasn't even been an option for me since I was 19 years
Yeah.
old. So um I plan on definitely exploring. That is for sure. I can't go to Canada, but I mean there's not much to see up there, right?
I mean, Canada's
Right,
fine.
dog? Yeah.
Hey, well, Canada's got plenty, buddy.
Hey,
Come on
you
now.
haven't been talking, so I had to get you in the conversation somehow.
I'm just listening, trying to be respectful. You know,
What part of Canada are you in, homie?
I am dead smack in the middle of the country. I'm in Manitoba myself.
Do you like it?
It's well, I mean, if you're born here, it's amazing. But if you're not from this part of the world, I can definitely understand not wanting to live here full time. The weather can be extreme, but the people are awesome.
I got to think. So I'm in Portland and Oregon right now, and our summers are already pretty long and our winters are already pretty short. I got to think it's like crazy extreme um for you up there. I met the only person that recognized me in Colombia was I was in this club in I think it was in Cartagena, and he's like he and his homie were like, "Oh my god, can we get like selfies?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" And I was like, "Where are you from?" And he was like, Yellowknife or White Horse?
Somewhere up in the
I don't know.
Yukon there, yeah.
Somewhere fucking up there. And I was just like, "Are you having fun in Colombia?" And he goes, yeah, because it's pitch dark right now where I'm from, and it's only 1:30 p.m. And I was like, God damn, homie, that's fucking brutal. Um, but anyway, that has nothing to do with anything other than like I'm imagining it's pretty dark there in the winters.
I wish actually. No, we honestly, when it comes to like the daylight cycle, we're pretty close to like the rest of it. You've got to go pretty far north up there to start getting into
Oh,
that
that's
crazy
good.
cycle. For us,
All right.
it's the weather definitely. Like in summer, we'll see temperatures of upwards of 120 with the humidity, and then in the winter, we'll see as low as -60, -70.
That's an extreme. That's some bipolar weather, dog.
No, it's but to put it frankly, it's fucking insane. Like we could live
Yeah.
anywhere in the world, and we're already used to the climate.
You get those big crazy mosquitoes in the
Yeah.
summer.
So we've actually started working on it recently. There's a lot of dragonflies and stuff we've started to release to try and cut back on it. But
I
the
love
running
them
joke,
shits.
yeah, no, my running joke throughout my entire childhood was the provincial bird was the mosquito because you would walk outside and
Yeah.
just get fucking mulched.
Yeah, so like I said, I grew up in Florida and mosquitoes everywhere down there. They bite like crazy, but I went to Alaska for the first time in the summer a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
I
Totally
did
different.
totally like they're 3 times larger. I don't even know how that's possible. I guess they're trying to get in all their blood sucking in a short window. But
Hmm.
yeah, 3 times larger, way more fucking vicious.
Oh
Like
yeah,
they swoop in like fucking hawks, dog.
oh yeah,
Like what the fuck?
and you can feel them too. Like a regular mosquito, it's you might notice
Yeah,
it there. Those fuckers bite you. You can tell you're being bitten. It's
yeah.
nasty. Yeah, they're not.
Nothing fun about that shit, dog.
Yeah, no. We don't luckily we don't have quite murder mosquitoes like that. We're kind of in the middle there. Like they're definitely larger than down south. I've been to Mexico, I've been to a couple places in the US. Definitely larger than what I saw further south, but not quite full out just attack bombers like they have in
Yeah,
Alaska north there.
yeah. I feel you, homie.
Uh,
Where do we go from here, dog? I don't even know. Um, I got 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Uh, so I'll just plug my tour real quick. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be
Go
in.
for it. Go for it.
Yeah, if there's any Kyles in Texas, New Orleans, or Florida, I'm gonna be there next week. I'm doing Austin, San Antonio, New Orleans, Gainesville, Tampa, and Orlando. And you can go to squeezylive.com and tickets are there. New Orleans is pretty close to sold out, but the other ones still got tickets. The other ones are bigger venues and still got tickets available. Check that shit out, homie. You can find me on Skweezy for Real on TikTok and Instagram, at least until a ban TikTok, which I'm sure is coming soon, and then whatever. But yeah. So all right, I plugged all my shit.
You
Um,
know what would have been better if you had played Kyle Texas. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I fucking heard of Kyle, Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had our first annual KyleCon in Kyle, Texas.
How many
Um,
people showed up to that?
there were close to 60, and
God damn, that's like doubling the population.
yeah, it fucking was. Listen, so it would have been a lot more. It was it coincided with the city's Pie in the Sky festival, and they have like all these vendors and stuff and pie eating contests. We were gonna have our
Oh,
own pie eating contest, like just Kyle's,
hell yeah.
but because of COVID, their vendors, like a bunch of vendors pulled out, and so they ended up canceling the whole festival. um the police department actually like gave us a bunch of like little goodie bags and stuff, and
Oh, that's nice. All the shit that was supposed to go to the pie festival.
yeah, and
Hell yeah.
we rented out a place called Papa Jack's, which unfortunately burned down. But we rented out a
I blame one
bar.
of the evil Kyles. The dark
You know,
Kyle,
uh
homie.
it's entirely possible.
it's funny because there's a little square of drywall that one of the Kyles has from that bar's bathroom. But it was funny because the back of the bar, there's like a patio area and stuff, and backs up right to the police department. And weed isn't legal. So like, one of our well-known members sitting there, just nonchalant, tripping on acid, smoking, going to light a blunt, and I just have to like dodge in front of him and stuff. Cause like
Yeah.
these cops are walking to their car. I'm like,
I don't think they fuck around with that shit in Texas, homie.
uh,
Like that.
yeah,
Little
yeah.
Hey,
scary.
who's the most famous Kyle you have?
Um, man,
Depends on which metric you're measuring.
yeah, because you got Treadwell, who's social media influencer. You got Williams, the one that plugged us into you is one of them. There's
There are a couple of realtors, some influencers. There are
yeah.
some
I
more
don't think
political.
if I know any famous Kyles. I know a famous Lyle.
Yeah,
Um, that's not gonna help.
yeah, we know Lyle.
I'll have to
So there's a
fucking dig him
Kyle.
up.
There's a Kyle that we've been trying to get into the council for years. Kyle Kinane. He's a comedian.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
he,
I know. Okay, he lives here, and so Adam, the stand up comedian that opens my show,
mhm.
he's actually good friends with him. Let me put the word out and see if I can get him on board into the Council of Kyles.
Yeah, or get him on the
Well,
show. That'd be great too. Like I've
either one would be.
yeah, either one. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll try. I can't promise anything because I've never actually met Kyle
yeah,
personally, but yeah, I know people that know him. So I'll reach out, dog.
I appreciate it. Another famous one is what's the one from Jack Black's band?
Oh yeah, Kyle Gass.
Yeah, Kyle Gass. Yeah, we've tried for years to get Kyle Gass into the council, man.
I feel
He
like he'd be down for that shit, homie.
yeah,
You might.
I feel like maybe the accounts that we've talked to, like it's like a PR person or like social media
Yeah,
person, not like but yeah. We also
yeah,
haven't
that's
had the best public face for years, and
yeah.
then
I mean, you had to get the cancerous Kyles out
yeah,
so that the other Kyles could thrive. I get it, homie. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, working on it. But man,
hell yeah.
oh, man, anything else you got off the top of your head, dog? You wanted to ask?
Nothing that comes to mind apart from we'd love to have you on again here. Try to think
Yes,
of some more
Sure,
topics for next time.
I'll be down for that. I got So after the tour, my next big project is I'm making a movie. I'm doing a full-on documentary about my crazy adventures, and so I'm gonna definitely want to try to promote that shit. So
fuck yeah.
yeah, hit me up again sometime, and we can talk about shit other than you know me getting stuck in riots and shit.
We'll come up with some more topics for next time there. I really just wanted to let you kind of speak there. I didn't want to cut you off or anything, brother. You had a lot to say there and a lot of it was interesting to hear.
I can talk. I mean, that's a problem is like sometimes I need to be cut off because I will fucking go, dog. I could talk 3 hours straight right now about fucking sea slugs. Like, I don't even know that much about them. I was just fucking like, what's going on in their fucking tiny brains? Like, are they thinking about fucking eating corals and shit? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know if you see how beautiful they are, but like, sea slugs are basically the parrots of the ocean. And
What?
see, I gotta stop myself right now because I will just fucking go.
You
No
say the
worries.
parents of the ocean? What?
Parrots.
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 Oh no!
Yeah,
I was
dog.
like, hold the fuck up. Where are we going with this?
Parrots, homie. All right, I'm gonna
All right.
fucking run.
Yep. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you
much
coming,
for
man.
having me on. Good luck to all the good Kyles, bad Kyles. Get your shit together, homies.
I'm gonna clip that. Oh man, that's great. All
Yeah,
right.
looking
Peace out, dog.
Thank you very
We
much,
appreciate you
Squeezy.
coming by.
You
Thanks
got
for
it,
coming by.
homies.
Pleasure to meet you, brother.